everybody? Welcome to BO Boys for Thursday, February 12th. Fuck it, it's a raw feed. We're doing it live. I'm Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Pat. Clayton, we have a huge returning star in studio today. You know her, you love her. This was the episode she had to do. We needed a big star for Wuthering Heights, and she's here from Barstool, the one, the only, Kelly Keegan. Keegs, welcome back to the BO Boys.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you for that. Thank you for making me feel like a star. And that is why I do keep accepting invites to come on this podcast, because you guys make me feel like a star, and I appreciate that. Very excited about Withering Heights. Horniest movie we've got coming out this week, at least.
Yes, well, there is also GOAT.
True.
There is
Okay,
the
you're right.
animated
Sorry,
Steph
yes.
Curry basketball movie GOAT,
Exactly,
which we will debate the horniness
It
factor.
could be unexpectedly horny, true.
Yes.
Listen, all the Zootopia fans have to go somewhere.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And how about that? Can we put a pin in Zootopia and just have a little conversation?
I'd
about
love
that
your
Let's
take.
go
at
right
some
into it
point?
now, because, I mean, we say, obviously kids are seeing it, but our big theory that I think has been proven is there's a lot of furries, there's a lot of freaks who are going to Zootopia. What do you think about that? What's driving Zootopia? Is over $1 billion now.
I, first of all, saw it, loved it.
Okay.
Very fun time, whatever. Had no sexual feelings whatsoever after the fact, so that was comforting for me personally. But I think you're
Was there a
onto
question?
something.
Did you go there questioning?
You know what? No.
Okay.
I was able to cue it up on my TV in my bedroom even, and it really was the environment primed for something as such, and it didn't even occur to me until you brought it up just now. So
You really
thankfully
played with-
I'm marked safe from furry bestiality, etc.
You were playing with fire.
I know. And I came out on top, so it really doesn't matter. But
A lot of Zootopia fans, they also came out on top.
it seems so.
Yeah.
And the only way that I could see how maybe it sparked conversation, because it's like you go to an animated movie, obviously it's this metropolis of animals. Like that has been done before. We're all familiar with that. We like that. It's fun. Everyone's got a personality. It's cool. But the ending of Zootopia, where there's a little bit of tension and a bit of a moment between the two mains, the fox and the rabbit, in my head I'm like, all I can think about in that moment is like, nature-wise, that can't work. We can't do that. They can't be in a relationship. What if they have kids? It's like, then it's a fox and a rabbit, and you can't have that. Like, that's crazy. That's where my mind goes. I don't go to like they've got sexual tension. Now, like, I'm going to role play this in a sexual way. And I think that maybe there is the opening for that.
Yes. You're thinking
You know what
like
I'm saying?
15 years later, when
Yeah.
whatever they have made
Yeah.
is now out in the streets in
Yes.
this, fascist
I'm thinking about how it's
animal
going to
police
disrupt
state.
the ecosystem.
Yes.
Because
yes.
you can't, again, like you think about how they crossbreed dogs. Okay, but they're still all dogs.
Right.
But what if you're crossbreeding a fox and a rabbit? That, I don't know what happens there.
Yeah. Well, so you haven't seen the second Zootopia.
No, I did see.
Oh, you did?
That's
okay.
what I'm talking about.
Got
At
it.
the end,
In
I
the
feel
end
like
of
they
this
have.
one.
I feel like they have moments of like, in my head, they were always friends. Like they were friendship, working together, friends, whatever. But there were a few moments of like, and I guess it could be described as like love and friendship or loyalty or whatever. But I swear they had like some long pauses, and there was a moment at the end, and we were like laughing about it in the office, being like, "Yeah, what about that like moment where we thought they were gonna kiss?" Like it was a weird time.
Well, we've gotten correspondence from our wanna BO boys, wanna BO girls, wanna BO people.
Yes, of course.
Talking about how there's a
Inclusion's important.
contingent of fans, especially like younger, maybe teens and tweens, who are shipping these two animals
And that is
and
the
will
problem. There's the
scream,
root.
"Just kiss already."
They
just
want to see it. They
They
want
want
to see the
to see it.
offspring. Yeah.
And I won't deny the fact that those two characters do have chemistry, but I'm trying to think. It's Jason Bateman and I can't think of who the rabbit's voice is.
Cindy Morgullis, I think, right?
Is it Cindy Margolis?
Yeah.
The most
I don't
talented
know.
Woman on the
AOL
internet?
woman from 1998. It's somebody else. It's
Somebody
not Cindy
like that.
Margolis. Yeah.
So-
Is it
Someone
Paula
like Cindy-
Poundstone?
Then you would definitely get some sexual tension if it was Paula Poundstone.
Sure.
It's not
I don't know.
Fran Lebowitz.
But it's Fran Lebowitz, who famously
That
said that young people don't go to the movies, and Zootopia proved her wrong.
Yeah,
so
they're all
it
screaming at
is
the screen.
Jennifer Goodwin.
Oh, Jennifer Goodwin.
Jennifer Goodwin.
Unfortunately
Good for
me,
her.
good for her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me, Jennifer Goodwin is unsexy. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. She's just like cute girl forever for me because I saw He's Just Not That Into You. And she was just like kind of playing the like sort of pathetic girl who needed to figure that out. And she was almost too good at that character.
Right.
She also played, what is the movie with her and Kate Hudson and it's like a rom-com, but she like steals her boyfriend.
Is it Sweet? Was she in Sweet Home Alabama?
No,
No.
that's Reese Witherspoon. I think it's something.
It's not like
There's something in the title.
I'll tell you. I know.
Is it something borrowed?
No, it's not. Maybe it's something borrowed. No, something borrowed is with Anne Hathaway. That's the wedding Anne Hathaway one with
But
Kate Hudson.
Jenna-
I think.
Jennifer Goodwin, she has, though, maybe she was only cute in live action, but when she's in animated form, full on sex pot. As this.
No, it is something borrowed. You're correct.
Nailed it.
Wow. I thought
Nailed
something
it.
borrowed was the Anne Hathaway one. That's Bride Wars. So stupid. Sorry, guys.
How could you?
How could I? How dare I? So yeah, you're right.
People want to see this offspring. I know it disturbs you, the idea of whatever they make, just running around the Zootopia,
Yeah.
riding a police tank, whatever they do in Zootopia. You don't want to
Militarized. They're militarized.
see it. They're
Militarized, yeah, of
militarized.
course.
These militarized fascist animals who crossbreed. But people
They
want
really
to see
are
that.
fascist. Like there's a lot of deep storylines in Zootopia. Like
Yeah.
they're erasing culture and
Yeah.
everything with those turtles.
I wonder if, Goat is the first kids movie to come out since Zootopia 2, so it's going to scratch that itch in the market. I don't know if it will scratch the itch for people who want a fascist police state in
Doesn't
their
sound
animated
like
films.
it,
I don't
no.
think so.
It sounds like it's going to be more
More basketball.
goals oriented, perhaps. What would be
Yeah.
the big message of Goat? Like try your hardest and maybe you'll be the best. Like
Right. Wait, is it basketball or a different sport? Am I off?
I only am saying stuff because you guys said Steph
No,
Curry.
it's
I don't know what
basketball.
this is.
It's basketball. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's
Did you think it
basketball.
was mini golf? Because that's his other, Steph Curry's
Yes.
other great passion in
Passion,
life
It's mini golf.
is mini golf. Well,
And
wacky
everyone knows
mini
that.
golf.
Everyone knows that.
Wacky
Yep.
mini golf.
Well, I mean, listen, if this is a hit, then you go to the mini golf course.
Yeah.
So we are going to go over which of these two movies coming out this weekend is going to have more sex appeal, The Animated Goat or Wuthering Heights. So I guess let's just start off with the big one, with the one that has been building for months. I have gotten just from so many parts of my different facets of my life, just people and especially
People.
women who are
Women.
excited. This is Avengers Endgame for a certain group of the audience.
Yes.
The build up for this has been huge, and we're going to find out if the climax is just as big this weekend. So,
Fingers crossed.
Keegs, how excited have you been in these last few months? How has the build up been for you for Wuthering Heights?
The buildup is absolutely working on me, and it has worked on me the entire time. Not only am I a massive Emerald Fennell fan, I love Promising Young Woman, I love Saltburn, I love what's the other like creep? She did like another like sexy one. Or maybe
Those are the only
those are
two
the only
I think
two-
she's directed. She also
The Crown, an episode of The Crown. I think she helped direct. She was also
Okay.
played Camilla Parker Bowles in The Crown one season.
Did she?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm like
She's an
interested
actor
in
as well,
her.
yeah.
Yes, I'm interested in her as a person and as a director, and I think she's a really good director. I love those movies. So I'm already excited. I am also a Bronte sisters fan. I like their family lore. I think it's really interesting that they all like wrote different books, and that Wuthering Heights happens to be like one of the most successful. But Emily Bronte like didn't write any other books. It was the only one she did, so she may have been like the star of the fam. Charlotte Bronte wishes. But then when the conversations around what the story was going to be like came out, people were really up in arms because Wuthering Heights, the book, people hold dear to them. Like they feel, and Emerald Fennell also holds it dear to herself. So she came out and was like, hey, this isn't going to be like exactly like the book. It's going to be like my interpretation of it. It's going to be sexually charged and XYZ, whatever. Then I heard about Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, and I said, can I buy my tickets today?
Wow.
And that was like about a year ago. And I'm very excited to see the movie because how can you go wrong? You know, it's going to be a sexy movie with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, and it's like period clothing and lust and love and yearning and longing. Like, yeah, I'm sad.
You love yearning and longing.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love to yearn. I love to long.
Is that a big draw for the people who are excited for this
People.
movie?
Absolutely.
Is the yearning itself?
I think
there
that
will
they're
be
really looking
yearning.
for that. Can I tell you that I heard a nasty rumor? It may be true.
Okay.
So, and I will be heartbroken, but it really kind of falls into the yearning, and real yearners will know that this won't affect the movie at all. I heard there's no nudity.
Wow.
I know.
Okay, so you're getting some because there's been some screenings. You're obviously in the biz. You know everyone. You talk to everyone, and there's no nips. There's no butts. There's
Not even a schwanz?
That I said,
little sideball?
I'm in the theater for at least a prosthetic. But
Yes.
those are the
Dirk
nasty
Diggler.
rumors I'm hearing. I don't know for a fact, and I hope that that's incorrect. But if there's no nudity in an Emerald movie that is presented as sexually charged, then I think that the yearners are going to have they're going to have a really good bank that they can go back to when they need that.
So this is a BYOB Bring Your Own Bank movie.
Yes.
Bring your own spank bank images.
Yes,
to
yes.
This.
Well, maybe it's more the opposite. Maybe it's a takeaway. It's a would you like it to go box of spank bank
Unwrap it
materials. Yeah.
What was the nudity that you would have been most excited to see, or do you hope that your contacts are wrong and there actually is this in the movie? What part do you hope you get to see?
We need to see sex in the field. That's what I need to see.
Wow.
I need to see the rain. I've seen that scene where they're kissing in the rain.
Yeah.
And I need them to have sex right there in the rain.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
really what I'm needing. We've seen that scene a lot throughout these period piece shows, movies. Bridgerton has a very similar scene where it's like ripping the clothes off in the rain and whatever. It's like we need that. We need it.
Yeah.
It's mandatory. So I will be shocked if that isn't how it transpires. But I think too, the conversation around how the adaptation will work is whether or not Margot Robbie's character is actually the main character or if she's in some sort of like dream world while reading original Wuthering Heights.
That's the rumor, right?
Yeah,
So
and I'd like to know.
these informants who we don't have to disclose their identity because anonymity is so important.
So important.
Exactly.
So
And I
important.
really respect that you guys respect that.
We respect anonymity.
Yeah.
And we obviously we don't want to out Chris Clemmer. We don't want to
Right.
give away that
Never once.
if it were to be him,
Right.
and
I'm certainly not saying that it is.
we're not saying
No.
it is.
It could be a random tweet I saw on the internet. It could be Chris Clemmer.
It could be Chris Clemmer.
Be literally word on the street. Like my ears are always open on the street.
or
so
it could be Chris Clemmer.
It could also be.
It
Chris
also
Clemmer,
could be.
yeah.
And I'm not going to directly say into camera, it's Chris Clemmer. I'm not going to do that. So
But you could if it was, but we don't know, and
we-
we would
so I
never
won't.
disclose.
This is a fact that we will never get to the bottom of, and that's just something we're all going to have to be comfortable with, the listeners included.
yes, and
Yeah.
including Chris Clemmer. So
And
because
Chris Clemmer.
ambiguity is so important.
so important.
Right.
It's
And
so
especially
important.
consent as well to be revealed as a source. Like
Yes.
I never asked Chris Clemmer if I could divulge the fact that he told me this information. And so therefore I will not assign this information to him. It didn't come in from his
Hypothetically.
mouth, hypothetically.
Yeah.
We don't know.
So this source, who may or may not be Chris Clemmer, but probably is,
Yeah.
they could be wrong though.
Could be wrong though, which they often are. So
Yes,
you never
yes.
know. Like there's really everything is taken with a grain of salt, especially coming out of Chris Clemmer's mouth allegedly. So who knows?
So you're in New York right now. We're in New York City. We got hit with a snowstorm a couple of weeks ago. And in New York, when it snows, the remnants stay around for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yes.
And go from nice fluffy snow into multicolored slush piles that we walk through every day.
Mm-hmm.
Snow
Having
cones
gone
from
through
hell.
that,
Snow cones from hell.
Snow cones from
Yes,
hell.
I think we're currently at a space where it is charcoal black speckled with dog urine. Like
Yes.
that's where we're at.
I love that you put speckled in there. It
Yeah.
sounds so
Paints a picture.
artfully done.
Thank you.
Does that inspire you? You see that, you walk through that, and then you think, sex in the rain. That's where I want to go. Or are you thinking, oh, maybe Margot and Jacob Elordi go into a field, have sex in some dirty snow speckled with urine?
I don't want the sex in the dirty snow speckled with urine. That is certainly not piquing my interest,
Okay.
but I do always have sex in a field in the rain on the mind. Like that's just a personal thing I love. I'm
Yep.
like, wow, that looks amazing. I'd love to experience that. So I would like to see it depicted. I want real representation on the screen.
Yes.
So important.
And it's just really something I'm not seeing enough of lately. So them having sex in the field in the rain would really make me feel seen.
Jacob Elordi, how big is he for you and people in your circle right now? Is he the guy? Is he past Timmy?
He's massive.
Okay.
I am almost at the point where this is sacrilege to say because I know that the people love Marty Supreme. I know they love it, and I love Timmy. I am a massive Timmy fan. Call Me by Your Name, life-changing performance, et cetera, whatever. I think Jacob Elordi did a better job at Frankenstein than Timothée Chalamet did it as Marty Supreme.
Wow.
I loved Frankenstein the movie. I know that's a very hot take, and that's usually not one that I would share out loud, but I feel safe here in this space that you've created for me, so thank you. I think that Frankenstein and Jacob Elordi's performance in Frankenstein was such a departure from what we usually see him in, which would be like Euphoria, obviously excluding his other works, which he is really good. But the range between him playing Nate Jacobs on Euphoria, which is this like troubled, abusive, generational trauma, he's expelling it out onto everybody else. And then you go to Frankenstein, where as he is the monster, the fear and reservedness that he has, despite the fact that he's massive physically, I think is really impressive. And I think that the prosthetics and the paint and the whatever, and I think that he was nominated, and I'm very happy that he's nominated, and I kind of want him to win. Like, I don't know, I'm so drunk on the Jacob Elordi Kool-Aid that there's really no pulling me out at this point, and I can only imagine I will become belligerent after I see Withering Heights.
No, I'm sorry, Frankenstein. I didn't watch it. I don't have Netflix, so I didn't see it.
Interesting choice.
And I don't want to.
That is the proper reaction there.
But I want to be coarse because we were talking about nudity.
Yes.
Does he show the Frankenpenis? Or no?
No, not directly.
Okay, so it's a side angle.
He's you see a lot of his body.
Okay.
And he's a monster, so he is blue. And did I see a tip
Grover.
of a peen? I don't think I did. I don't think I saw anything like that. He did have a small Jesus-like loincloth on at one point, which was interesting and hot. And he was, it's the way he moves and the way that he interacts with people. I'm being serious now. The way that he interacts and touches people physically in that movie, you can tell that some of it is guided, and you can tell that others is just his personality and how he interacts with people in a sweet way, how he's interacting with Mia Goth specifically. It's so mesmerizing that I'm already infatuated with you just based on the fact that you're tall and gorgeous and have an accent and seem to be a good guy. But also you're really putting your whole ass into this acting. Wish I could see it, one. But two, I think that he really is, I don't know, I think he doesn't have a limit. I think he's truly incredible at acting, and I'm looking forward to seeing more.
So he's the guy right now. There's, Emerald has said she wants this to be Titanic.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
People have been laughing at that, scoffing at that.
Take back your laughs.
But are we looking at a Leo in 1997, 98 level coming out party for Jacob Elordi?
Cover of Teen Beat. Will Jacob Elordi be on the cover of Teen Beat?
I think he's
month?
Already on the cover of Teen Beat, he has that heartthrob vibe already, because if we all remember going all the way back original, you may not have seen it because it was Netflix, but he was in the Kissing Booth alongside Joey King. And that was
Didn't see it.
Dumb YA movie, and obviously I loved it. It was great, but it was dumb. It was just whatever. But he was already a heartthrob at that point, and I think Euphoria kind of pushed him all the way to the top of wow, hot tall guy, we got to get him in everything. And now that we're seeing that he has a real personality and is actually an interesting person, I think it's time for him to be the number one dude, and we'll see.
The fact that do you want to see a scene in this movie, which I think this would be a big scene, where he just scoops Margot Robbie up?
Absolutely. And I do think that we get to see something similar, because I think I've seen it's where they're doing the flashes in the trailer, they're just showing a half a second of stuff. I think in one of those he does get a one-arm sweep. And the Titanic conversation, I don't believe that there's nudity in Titanic either. Maybe, there's boobs.
Well,
Kate Winslet.
Boobs, yeah. But there's not, and there's sex in the car, but they don't show anything.
It's the handprint.
Which was, oh my God,
yeah.
hold my breath. I have chills right now thinking about the handprint.
We got to get a handprint. Will there be a callback to Titanic where there is a handprint?
If Emerald is saying Titanic, then I think we have a nod. I also love that idea of going into it in that way, because then the yearners, like I was saying before, we're really going to get fed, because watching Titanic when it came out what, 1998 or something?
97.
Amazing. in that time, I was very young, so I wasn't allowed to really be watching it. But my friend, of course, had the it was 2 VHSs at the time, part 1 and part 2, and
That's
we
like
only
us
ever
with Clerks.
yeah, exactly. There you go. Yes, and we only ever really watched part 1 because that was the sexy stuff, and the second movie is the iceberg, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But it was funny watching it over and over again, and just how oh my god, this I was so sold on that love story. And before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about books, and there are a lot of rom-com books out right now, and generally the romance category in books, I feel, have kind of been deduced to this formula that's very predictable. So I love a movie like Wuthering Heights with this different way to look at it. And traditionally that book is kind of toxic. It's not a relationship that you want to admire or be in. It's a kind of a bad story about 2 people who just can't quit each other. And I think that this will be an interesting way to look at that and present it in a sexy way, because it really is kind of you leave Wuthering Heights the book kind of being oh gosh, I don't know about these 2. So I'm curious to see how we're going to spin that into us rooting for them.
And that is sort of Emerald Fennell's thing, is giving you couples where you're oh,
Totally.
Yeah. So this is kind of in
so
her
true,
lane.
Actually, I didn't think about it like that. Yeah.
And I mean, Jacob Elordi being Leo in Titanic, I think that could happen. If she's really making that connection to this is the new Titanic, do we get, and I know he's not listed in the cast, he wasn't in the trailer.
Yeah.
Do we get in Wuthering Heights Billy Zane running around firing a gun in the air in the 3rd act? Can that happen?
If we don't have that, I will be disappointed, because Billy Zane, what's he doing? He could show up for this.
He could show up for this.
He can show up for this, and I need him stealing a gun from someone else to shoot around. I need him passing off a child as his own that's not his. I would even maybe I put the coat on her. I would like that.
Love
maybe
that.
Just Jacob Elordi, give him one line. We'll all know.
We'll know.
But yeah, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think now back to your source, because you were talking about how this could be Margot Robbie's character is actually in some kind of imagining that she's in Wuthering Heights.
So she works.
She's disassociating.
She works at an Orange Julius at the mall.
Props, yeah.
Right.
And she's staring across at the Walden Books, and she sees Wuthering Heights in the window, and is I wonder. And then that's how it's framed.
How do I get out of this hellhole? Let me escape into this book.
How disappointed will you be and audiences be if 80% of this movie actually takes place in a mall?
Really upset.
Yeah.
I want, you know what though? I did watch I believe it was Arc Digest that did it. One of it might have just been straight up Variety or something. One of those bigger brands that do the behind the scenes looks at sets and stuff. I don't know if you guys caught this at all. They've created all the outdoor scenes that will be shot for Wuthering Heights are actually indoors. They've created an indoor dome basically with the house that they're in and the backyard and the courtyard and whatever. It's very intricate, and they have different lights and to mimic the times of day and the fog and the moodiness of it all and whatever. So I'm kind of focused on that. To make sure that I believe that. If I had never seen the behind the scenes of that, would I believe that it's outside? And that's also kind of an interesting thing. I don't know exactly what we're gonna see at all. But I've not seen anything but these sets. So if they
just
have
the Architectural Digest video.
Yes.
Of this.
Well, no, meaning for the promo of the movie.
Yes.
I've not seen any other settings that they could potentially be in. And I feel they would have maybe shown. Well,
they would have shown the mall. Would Architectural Digest
they would
have
have shown the mall,
Yeah.
or would they? Because it's a spoiler kind
giving
of
away so much.
Right.
So I don't know.
So what if she works at the Orange Julius and
Yeah.
she's looking over at the Walden Books, and then she goes on her lunch break.
Yeah.
She grabs Annie Ann's hot dog on a stick.
Yep.
Balanced diet.
A cinnamon, maybe some cinnamon bites on the side.
Yes,
Love.
because the Cinnabon and the Aunt Anne's are melded
Well,
together.
no, Annie Ann's
Frankenstein
has cinnamon
together.
as well. They have cinnamon flavor, but you can't get the buttery without the cinnamon. They're 2 different kinds. You got to get them both.
Yes. So she's
I
walking
feel
around.
like you'd be into this version of the movie now that
I would.
Yeah.
No, I'd want it to be a different movie. I'm also interested in Margot Robbie working at an Orange Julius in the mall. That's
Yes.
a separate thing I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's Mallrats too.
Exactly.
So she's walking around, double-fisting pretzels, apparently, and walks into Spencer Gifts, and who's behind the counter, wearing a Deftones T-shirt, right? Vader Zim stuff
course,
everywhere.
Of course. Those keychains with sassy sayings hanging at the register. I
Yeah.
have 1,000 of those. Oh my
And it's
goodness.
who is it? It's Jacob Elordi.
Of course.
So she's imagining this romance
Mm-hmm.
with this Spencer's Gifts employee. Now I think they just go by Spencer's now at this point. It's
I
not
think so.
Spencer's
I think
Gifts.
it's just Spencer's. We
It's like
called it
Dunkin'.
Spencer's growing up because it was like if you called it Spencer's Gifts, you don't know ball. But
Exactly.
we knew ball, so we called it Spencer's.
Yeah. So, well, I like to say the full name of brands.
And that's really respectful of you.
Yeah, it is about respecting their
course.
branding, and so how much of a letdown would that be? Or I mean, you seem to be into this idea. Do you think this would be also the question? Not just you, because yes, you're an important person to spread the word about this movie.
Of course.
And would you say you're an influencer?
Absolutely, especially in this scenario. I think I've got a specific set of skills when it comes to a period movie that's also horny with Margot Robbie in it.
Would you say you're an activist?
Absolutely, without question. I don't know if you've seen me yelling about the. Not only am I an activist for this movie, I yell about the Central Park horses all the time. So I have a long history of being an activist.
Wow, that's one of my hinge prompts.
Is it really?
First date. Let's let loose the
Let
Central
him out.
Park horses.
Really? I'm being
Yeah.
dead serious. Do you?
I'm being dead serious. I'll show you my hinge right now.
Okay, amazing.
Well, not right now. I'll show you after.
Show me later.
I'll
the
just pop it up
crusade-
onto camera right now, right there.
Yeah, right. But it's
Perfect.
my hinge profile.
Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I am being dead serious. I want those horses out of
Me
that
too.
park. It's unbelievable they're still there. Speaker Adrienne Adams, she dropped the ball. Now we got a new lady.
Yeah.
She's got to get on it.
Because Adams
On Donnie
almost had it
Clays.
happen, and then I guess there wasn't
Adams
enough pay.
is full of shit.
Yeah.
At the beginning of his term as mayor, he came out and was like, actually, the horses are good for this park, whatever, because he's got his hands in the pockets of the union.
Yes.
And then right at the end, when everybody hates his guts and he's on the way out, he's like, we got to do something about these horses. So
Try to
people
free the
only
horses.
remember, wow, he really had their back. No, he did not until it was advantageous for him. I'm
Okay,
out
so
on him.
then
Anyway,
here's the ending of this Wuthering Heights, because they work at a mall in Queens,
exactly.
Yeah.
and then
Do we think it's Queens or do we think it's like suburbia?
it could be Long Island.
It could be the Short Hill Mall in Jersey.
That's kind of what I'm
I
thinking.
think they're at the
That's
Short
more
Hill
what I'm
Mall in
picturing.
Jersey.
Well, because
yeah.
my hope then that this movie ends with them taking two Central Park horses, freeing them and riding them off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Across the bridge, I guess.
Okay.
Back to Jersey where they both live.
That would be a great alternative. Unfortunately, I've already written an animated Central Park horse movie that does involve the breaking out of these horses. I hesitate because I would like to tell you everything about it right now.
Okay.
It might take me like a few minutes to explain it. Are you ready for it?
Just
There is no abridged version. I'm so bad at being abridged.
Give us the elevator pitch, because we have industry watching this. We have
That is actually
major industry.
the only person I'm trying to get in touch with right now about this story is the industry. So
Okay.
I really do appreciate your.
yeah. I mean, you
your-
could deliver right into camera.
right to camera,
your-
elevator pitch,
Okay,
all
this
the
is for my
execs.
Central Park horse movie. It starts out on a young horse who's growing up on a farm outside of New York City, who lives amongst people, of course, and is more of a small horse, maybe not big or strong enough to work on the farm with the rest of the horses. So it's kind of been domesticated a little bit. While this horse is around these people and this family, there are discussions of the horses in Central Park, because they do, on the low, we find out later that they actually own this like farm of horses that ends up like going to the city. So this young horse thinks that it's like an honor to end up going to be a Central Park horse. He's very excited. It comes time, he's going to go be a Central Park horse. He's got his like best friend who obviously grew up with him, is like the child of the family who now wants to move to New York City and drive these horses around. He gets here and he meets all the horses, and all the horses are kind of beaten down, battered. There's an old horse that's kind of like Gil from Finding Nemo, where he's got scars and he's like, he's seen some shit. And then there's like a couple horse, and they're always like supporting each other because they both have problems and they can't get through the day, but they have to work because they have no choice. And then, there's a couple of other characters in there. There's a love interest horse, of course, preferably voiced by Scarlett Johansson if I can get her. And then it also highlights the living conditions that they're in, which is, of course, a high rise on the West Side Highway on 11th, which is really disgusting. Hate that. Got to show that. Got to show the people taking advantage. Got to show them walking in scorching conditions in the summer. They also, I think I would love to incorporate a little bit of a pigeon motif. I once saw a pigeon in Central Park that was posing for photos. People were like going up to it and taking photos, and it would literally like turn. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it was a squirrel. it would turn and look and turn and look, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So I want a little like I want to create a little bit of a potential for spin-offs. Squirrels, pigeons, rats. Those are I want the rats. Underground. That's a whole separate story. Regardless, it all comes to a point where we're in the Central Park. We're in Central Park. We're all the horses. One of the horses who's been having a hard time, probably the woman in like the couple relationship, she's gonna start having this like freak out, and she's gonna run into traffic, and something tragic will happen. Maybe she dies, maybe she doesn't. Not quite sure. But then at this point, the newer horse realizes, wow, this actually isn't all it's cracked up to be, and we're really not being treated well. This is crazy. We have to do something about it. We have to overturn the situation. And then these horses can talk to each other, but they can't talk to the humans. So he has to somehow communicate to his human that things are not right, although the human is also wisening up. So we're teaming up now, humans and horses, to solve this problem together. And then hopefully it goes to like a montage after that where the horse that dies in the street is Ryder, because that's a real horse that died. All of these horses are also named after real horses that have either died or been affected by the Central Park horse situation. So then we hopefully enter a montage similar to Happy Feet, where when we're watching the penguins, like everyone's realizing that these penguins are there, and there's all the news reports about the dancing penguins and whatever. I would like something like that, like everyone around the world realizing that the Central Park horses are being abused, and like maybe it's like tweets from me being like fuck the people who don't, and other people, kids are protesting in the park sometimes. Like I want those flashes happening, and then I would love for the movie to end on like the Senate floor or wherever it is we need to go, passing Ryder's Law prohibiting Central Park horses moving forward.
So great elevator pitch.
And
this
that is the abridged version. There's a lot of detail in there.
So this building is
otherwise I left
800
out.
floors high, which is good for you, because I think we got right to the top with that elevator pitch.
Thank you so much, and I apologize for the length. Like I said, it's I'm very passionate about it, so it's hard to cut it down.
No, I mean this is great.
That was incredible.
It's
Thank you
incredible.
so much.
Now
There are tearjerker moments as well. Again, I've got a whole thing. I have to write it first.
I
That's
love
the whole
that it
thing.
is truly a drama.
Yes.
This is not a. I mean, kids need to see this.
Kids, it
because
will
kids
be. That's why
the
it's
ones who-
animated.
Yes.
It's animated so the animals can talk, because that's always you have to
They
have
love
the
it.
animals talking.
Yeah.
And it is a drama because it's one of those movies where it teaches you a lesson and it shows you about it's maybe a little bit like Zootopia too. They're going the fascist route. I'm trying to show that there are bad people in the world through animals, and I want these kids to like grow up knowing that like that was a bad scenario, and just because you wanted to take a picture on the back of a carriage in the snow in wintertime doesn't mean that horse wasn't like then kicked in the ass on its way up, whatever.
when they take the bucket away, when they're feeding them,
No,
and then
it's sick.
these tourists show up,
It's sick.
and want to ride, and they pull the bucket away, and the horse goes, I just want to go nuts.
It's sick. I've become the person that like yells at the carriages as we walk by. I say, "That's disgusting. You're disgusting." Like I'm really like getting to the point where
throw
it's too
paint
much.
on them. You should throw red paint.
I've considered vandalizing. I've considered getting into real altercations with the drivers, but we still have drivers. There are only I think it's like 63 drivers or 63. Well, I guess they're drivers. And there's like a little over 100 horses still in rotation. And so the law that they're trying to pass is just to stop people from being able to apply to have their horses here so they can phase out the existing horses eventually, which I think is great, and that's fine and whatever. Get them out of here now, but like fine, let's take a step in the right direction. I do think that sending that message via cartoon is the only way. Like if we got to bring it down all the way, because every time I try to explain this to people, they're like, yeah, the horses, but they remember Hollywood, they remember movies, it's romantic, it's whatever. So they don't think about it as this like crazy thing. So the only way I feel is to deliver this message with a cartoon, with a gut-wrenching moment after you've come to love one of the main characters, and then at the end to reveal that it all happened in real life. Like that's, and by that I mean like the horse is dying and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
And,
that moment, how like in a biopic at the end, then they show here was the real person. Of course, it's
Yes.
always someone who's so much uglier than
Of course, they're
the
always
actor
so
who played
hideous,
them.
yeah.
They're always such visual nightmares. But
Yeah.
Just golems, yeah.
you would
Yeah.
show our animated rider who just got smashed.
Absolutely smashed by a
Glue. It's glue.
By the way, it's going to happen in Columbus Circle. It's literally where it's happening.
It's not far. And,
That's what I'm saying.
And then we show the real rider. That is going to be such a moment
Yeah.
for these kids who have just seen this movie, and then they they loved Ryder, and then we see Ryder get turned into glue, and then they see in the credits the real Ryder.
Yep.
They will leave the theater and march in the streets.
Exactly. And that's my hope.
Yes.
That is my hope. I really do think that. And again, I would like to highlight the alliance between animals and humans to get this shit done.
Yes.
I don't know how anyone goes into Central Park and sees those horses and looks in their eyeballs and said, I'm going to get in the back of this and let them take me for a spin. Like, they are miserable. They don't want to be there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm going to get engaged now.
Yeah, enough already. You're self-indulgent.
Enough.
Now, I know we have some movies to talk about, but I do have a question.
Sorry, I really
and I have a
derailed
little
us there.
pitch to this, too, and I feel like for the voices of the horses,
Of course.
I think...
Let me bring out my notes. While
And I love Scarlett Johansson because big star. You do need big stars.
Yes.
But
to be fair, I came up with Scarlett Johansson as the love interest. I think I came up with this movie in 2018 or 2019 or something.
So
and
it's
she was the
Black
hottest at that
Widow,
time.
Yeah.
But
So,
you know
yeah.
what? Still works. That Jurassic
Yes.
movie was big.
Exactly.
Do you get New York icons to
Absolutely.
voice these horses?
I think
Spike
more-
Lee needs to voice one of these horses.
I think it's more the New York icons are cameos with the other animals. So like maybe Spike Lee could be the squirrel that's
Yes.
trying to have pictures taken. So here are the names that I have. I have Charlie. Charlie is the name of the new horse. These are all, like I said, existing horses in Central Park that have either been injured or killed by something happening.
Now, do you think you'll be able to wish cast this, or do you have the cast list here?
So I used to, and I thought I had more of the regular cast in here, but I don't. I think I took all them out because I didn't like my original thoughts.
Okay.
But I want the vibe of a new spunky, almost like a Justin Long, but like a new gen Justin Long for Charlie the horse.
Okay.
You know, like a good attitude, but like funny and can take a joke. And because the first part of this movie is going to be like, I think that the horse Charlie should start work in like maybe the fall or maybe the spring, something where the temperature is nice and the first few weeks could maybe be seen as like, wow, this is fun, like cool.
Right.
So we kind of have a montage of greatness and whatever. But then all of a sudden we're dealing with harsh conditions. Then we're dealing with, ornery people, holiday time. Like it's, I feel like it needs to show the slow decline and the dream of being this prestigious Central Park horse shattered by the establishment itself.
Right.
I'm really,
Crashing into the holiday markets
Yes.
in the park. Yeah.
It also needs to start in Westkill, New York, because that is the place where they bring the horses when they can't like do anything anymore, and they are like killed there, and they're
In
like held
Westkill.
there, and they're killed in Westkill.
Wow.
I know the irony. So that is where like this farm needs to be. So like real ones know that actually it was a bad farm to begin with.
Yeah.
Charlie didn't even know. There's Charlie. Lady is the love interest. Ryder is the seasoned vet. And so he's like the old one, and he will die. And then Aisha and Max are the love duo, but they're trauma bonded. That's what I have
Okay.
here. So they have this like, whatever. And basically everything I described to you guys is here. And that's pretty much it. But I don't want to listen. I don't want to take up the whole podcast with this
No,
pitch.
this is-
but it is really like I'm dead fucking serious about this. Like
And-
I am
and this
so
is-
crazy about the horses.
This is an episode people years from now will go
People.
back to, and they'll say, oh, wait, that movie that's #1 at the box office today and just created a new law in Congress, which may or may not exist a few years from now. But if it does exist, then hopefully they pass Ryder's Law.
Yeah.
Well, didn't Kevin
It's
Smith...
currently like that's what it is right now. It's called Ryder's Law, and that's what they're trying to get passed, but it keeps getting denied because their hands are in the pockets of the union. That's the whole thing.
terrible.
So we need
Whole thing.
Sony animated pictures or DreamWorks.
I said it could be a DreamWorks.
Yeah,
DreamWorks.
I
I
could
would like
just make-
Pixar, but they're tied up with Disney, and I maybe want to get a little cute with it. You know?
Yeah, and Pixar, they just need to make their movies about middle-aged people dealing with grief or
Yeah.
whatever they
Exactly,
do.
and
So,
that's
yeah,
I'm good.
It'd
I'm
be
all set.
great to have this hand drawn, like Don Bluth style, like
Yes.
that. I'm picturing that all dogs go to heaven, sort of,
Yes.
just
Yes,
like
but
beautifully
do you think
hand drawn.
that the audience today would
I
be
know.
receptive to because All Dogs Go to Heaven was so beautifully drawn, really.
Yeah.
One of my all-time faves. But I don't know if kids like. I feel like they unfortunately need more 3D than that.
Absolutely.
And it's annoying because I think that's like a beautiful way to do
So
it.
what I was
I
going to
would
say,
animate this in the style of Fritz the Cat, a New York
I don't know
gritty.
if I know Fritz the Cat.
don't. I wouldn't Google it now.
Don't Google it.
It's
now.
a dirty. It's a triple X.
It's a
triple
triple. It's a
X.
triple
Oh,
X, but it's
Fritz
an
the
art
Cat is
from.
sexy.
Yeah, it's a 70s.
Okay, and we're back to the horny.
It's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
70s, but it's got. I think it's got the style. Like
But
aside
I kind
from
of like that
it's
idea
got
of
the-
like seedy.
Yes, the
Yeah.
seedy. it's an R. Crumb comic. It's one of the great seedy cartoons.
Totally.
I think that's what you want your horses to have that feel.
I want them
It's
to
a
have
little
dimension. I
Safdie
want
Brothers
them to
meet
have
that.
darkness, but there needs to be it needs to be like rising sun and then a setting sun, nightfall type of story where it's like, you wake up, you're not sure what the day is going to hold, and by the end, like, it's over,
Yeah.
meaning your life.
So what I was saying, because I mentioned Kevin Smith, and it seemed like a non sequitur, but he actually came up with a movie, and not that you didn't just come up with this spontaneously, but in a podcast episode,
I was
he
just
came up
talking
with
about
Tusk,
this today. I
right?
can't believe this. I was literally just talking about Tusk today. We did like a funny thing where you're like handed a paper and there's 3 movies on it, and you have to guess what actor is in all 3.
Yes.
And it was a thing. It was like John C. Reilly. We were having conversations. We were talking about our favorite movies. One of the movies was The Lobster, and I was like, I love The Lobster. It's
Yeah.
the only reason I knew, because he was in that, and also Magnolias. And I didn't know he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was the 3rd one. So once we were talking about The Lobster, everybody was like, oh, it's a weird movie. And then someone else mentioned Tusk, and shout out Robbie Fox. He was like, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. And I knew nothing about it. And I looked it up, Justin Long, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he told me the story about them kind of writing it on the podcast, or like joking about it on the podcast,
Yeah,
and then
and then-
turning into literally,
One of his favorite movies of all time, Odd.
That's what I said. Strange. I think he likes the vibes. It was just, because it's like a horror comedy kind of,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
I get down with that too. I like
Yeah.
that.
Ask him his thoughts on yoga hosers.
Yoga hosers.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
He'll know.
And then
He'll
text
know.
me.
He'll know. He's a real buff. He would have fun with you guys, I think. We should have
So,
him on.
bring him in here. We'll do an
Yeah.
hour and a half on Tusk.
Totally.
It
He
has
would love to
to
talk
be
about
done.
it.
This is the week for it.
But he has
So,
to use the public bathroom.
Of course, yeah, and that's only fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm a bigger star, so
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, you get the star bathroom.
Kelly got to use the private bathroom, is what
Exactly.
I'm referring
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
So, just tying a bow on Wuthering Heights before we fully move into Go, do you have plans already to see this movie? Or is this a gal's night out, just a big group going to see this together?
I wondered how to see this movie in that way. I wondered, like, do I want to see this movie alone? Is it going to be weird if I'm there with, like, a guy friend or, like, a guy that I'm seeing? Like, I don't think that this is, like, a date movie. I think it's very much a go see it with your girlfriend so you can, like, squeal in the theater, which is exactly what I'm doing. But I'm taking my cousin, it's her birthday, and I'm taking her and a couple of her friends, and we're going to, like, a noon showing and on a Saturday. And so it's just, like, fun, girly pop stuff, get some popcorn, watch the movie, and then go to, like, a drink after and laugh about it. I think that's going to be the best way.
Now, I have a question, too, because Charlie XCX doing the music for this.
Yes.
Now, one of Taylor Swift's mortal enemies, one of her many mortal enemies now at this point, right?
It seems to be that they are enemies, yes. I wouldn't say enemies. I think Taylor Swift put out a song recently called Actually Romantic that kind of details the people who are hating on her constantly.
Yeah.
When she doesn't, it's kind of like that meme of from Mad Men where it's like, I feel sorry for you. I don't think about you at all. I think it's more like Charlie XCX has been doing a lot of things, kind of making jabs at Taylor Swift. I didn't see her like new documentary movie, whatever
The
that
moment,
is yet. The
which
moment. I would like to see it.
Is supposed to be very Taylor targeted, right?
That's what people are saying, and I will reserve judgment until I see it myself. But in that case, I think it's like really embarrassing that Taylor put that song out, being like, "Oh my God, it's actually sweet that you're obsessed with me." Like, wow, it's crazy, and she's kind of proving herself to be. As a woman, I feel like that there's like underlying jealousy or some level of like, I don't know. Sometimes girls get weird about other girls. They just don't like how they operate, and so they just get like a chip on their shoulder about it. And I feel like Charlie kind of got that way about Taylor because Charlie was on the Reputation tour with Taylor. Like she was one of her openers, so they like were friendly for a long time. And then there's the background of like Charlie XCX's husband George is in the 1975, and so is Matty Healy, and he like strung Taylor along for 10 years and messed with her for a long time and whatever. So I think that there's like friend group hate dynamic, and she's just kind of being pick me a little bit about it. But all that said, I do like Charlie XCX music. I think it's fun and cool. And I'm very much looking forward to the Withering Heights soundtrack because I do think it's like perfect for this moment. And that whatever the big song is that they're using to advertise the movie, I love it. I think it's really good. Yeah.
But so as the Taylor expert,
Yeah.
do you think Taylor Swift herself is upset that she's not involved in this thing that white women are going crazy over?
No, I don't think so, because this doesn't seem up her alley. This seems, I would say, a Taylor Swift adaptation with this would be a little less overtly sexual and more into the like fantasy of it all. Like I think if they were doing like a shot for shot Wuthering Heights from the book, Taylor Swift would make more sense. The Emerald version of Wuthering Heights, Charlie makes more sense.
Okay.
Taylor Swift songs in your animated Central Park horse film.
Oh my God. Bigger Than the Whole Sky. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. Play it when Ryder dies. Oh my God. Literally no one will be able to. There's not a dry eye in the house. Like,
Now, is this a re-record? Oh, well, she doesn't have to re-record
that's
because she owns
that's
everything
a song
now.
from Midnight's. And it's supposed to be, well, if you listen to the lyrics, it's about like a baby that died, like either miscarriage or something along those lines. And so it's a very sad song.
Now, does she re-record it though with like in Godzilla when they had the song that had the
Page
roars
and-
in it?
Okay.
The Godzilla roars, and
Sure.
it was a remix that
Katy
had
Perry
Godzilla
roar?
roars into it. Would it be neighing? Would you add horse neighing?
Ooh, well,
And it could be like
similar
horses
to-
she owned.
Similar to the movie Flow, which used real animal sounds, which is a great movie, by the way.
Okay.
I would probably want to record some real animal sounds for emotions. I wonder if she would feel the need to do the same. Anything that she does, she puts her all into. So I'd
Yeah.
imagine she'd want some authentic animal neighing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You're
she'd
right.
want that. I think she'd go above and beyond to make sure it happens. If she's re-recording maybe if she's writing an original track, she would need that.
And you would be in the studio just sort of making sure she's
Yes.
getting
Well, again,
your
I
vision.
am. This is. And we're talking about my movie, right?
Yes,
We're talking
yes.
about
Yes,
my
we're talking about
now.
your movie,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought we were talking about Withering Heights a little bit there, but yes, I actually think I would like Bigger Than the Whole Sky for sure, and I do think that she would approve my use of that. If she were to feel so emboldened to write an original track, I don't know if it should be upbeat or sad, but I do think it should maybe be upbeat, and I don't want it in the trailer, and that sounds crazy.
It's
'cause
got to be the exit music.
It's got to be the exit music, right, when it's all positive.
Yeah.
Okay, you've given me more to think about. These are things I've not considered.
Well,
I didn't
the-
even consider
the
asking
trailer
Taylor
song
Swift
has
write
to
a
be
movie.
Semi-Charmed Life by Third Eye Blind.
Do you think? You
Yeah.
think that's what it has to be?
Of course it does.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I love that, and I'm gonna write it down.
You should.
I'm not even kidding. I'm putting it in my horse thing.
So
I've got
already
one.
a
Central
historic,
Park horse movie.
already a historic episode, the B.O. Boys.
Yeah.
That this will be looked back at. It'll be part of the documentary about the making of this movie. I cannot wait.
And we get a
Let's-
taste.
And we
Well,
got
you guys will be like, first of all, you'll get the exclusive for all interviews about it. Like you'll get the
Yes.
first because you sat here while I explained 99% of it, and you'll also, of course, be invited to the premiere at Lincoln Center. That's
Can we
Yeah,
have cameos as popcorn eating horses?
would absolutely love that. Would absolutely love that. Do we
Just a
think
real
we should
quick
go meta
scene.
with it at the end, where the end credits start rolling, and then it pans out to both humans and horses in the theater discussing the movie that they just saw,
Yes.
being like, "Wow, can't believe that moment." Wow, I have chills literally up my
Yeah.
whole body.
Yeah.
I need that to see already the new world that has been created based on this. Like almost like they're watching that movie in the past, like how we watch old war movies, being like, "Wow, can't believe it really went down like that." That's how
Yes.
it'll be. Kind of like Spice Girls, you know, at the Spice Girls movie at the end where
Spice
they're all
World?
like Spice World, yeah, where they're all like talking into the camera, being like, "Look at them, they're all in there and they're whatever." I would like something like that.
That's cartoon B.O. Boys, having just watched this movie. This
Yeah.
is going to be incredible.
I can't wait.
Let's move on to an animated movie that is coming out this weekend. So, GOAT, Steph Curry. He's a GOAT who wants to play basketball, or at least a basketball-like sport called Rollerball. That is what this film is about.
Oh no, I didn't know
And-
this.
And we've got Steph Curry, Gabrielle Union's in this.
Oh.
Uh,
Love.
Nick Kroll, Patton Oswalt, Clayton's a big fan of, Jennifer Hudson, David Harbour. Okay, let's
Wow,
talk
what a
quickly
cast.
about this. David Harbour and the whole Lily Allen situation.
I would love to discuss. I've been listening to nothing but West End Girl since it dropped. I am so Team Lily Allen on this.
Does West End Girl hurt this movie GOAT at all? Where people see David Harbour's name on this animated GOAT basketball movie and they say, "Oh, I saw the Architectural Digest video where
Right.
David Harbour and Lily Allen, we saw their house and we knew what David Harbour was doing that whole time." Is that at all a turnoff? Are there any parents who say, "I can't take my kid to a David Harbour voiced film after West End Girl and what he did to Lily Allen"?
I do think that there's a reason that he was listed, 6th, 7th.
He's pretty far down.
Yeah, so I think that most
when
people...
he's below Patton Oswalt, you know they're trying to hide.
Yeah.
And
him
that
in this
is
cast.
how I feel about this, because I didn't even know he was a part of this movie, and I think that's the best way, because if I did know, the first thing I would have said was, oh, David Harbour, must need a paycheck after the divorce, must need a whatever. I was saying that during Stranger Things last season, which was unfortunate that, well, smart by Lily to drop her album right before Stranger Things was coming back. And so I watched the whole last season of Stranger Things with an eye like this at everything David Harbour did. Like, I was like, oh, that's not legit. Like, I couldn't separate the art from the artist.
You would.
No, really. I was like, of course, he's like so macho. He's so obsessed with himself, and he's literally being Hopper. Like, it wasn't even being himself.
Yeah.
But that shit does transfer. Like,
It does.
People think about it. Would I stop my child from seeing the Steph Curry GOAT movie because of it? No, I don't think so. I think that there's enough else. And it's cartoon, right? So we're not seeing
It's a
David
cartoon.
Harbour.
We're not going to see his face.
Yeah.
We'll hear him.
Yeah.
But we won't see him in his quote-unquote dojo.
Got it.
Well, did he
right, got
do
it.
the recording from the dojo?
He may have recorded from his dojo.
See, that does change things.
Yeah, does he have a
I don't know if I can
podcast mic in his
stomach it.
dojo?
Because, again, we all thought it was a pussy palace, and instead it was a dojo. And-
Did he stop what he was doing, like his infidelity for a second? Because he's like, oh, I got this deadline to do this, like, voice of this yak.
Yeah.
Wait right there. And then he's just doing this in front of with the woman that he philandered with.
Yes.
There.
It seems to me...
And he's in his tighty whities,
Yeah.
and he's just, like, speaking into, like, a Yeti mic.
It seems to me like he does love an audience, so I really feel like he would do that. Be like, babe, watch this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to cook,
Yeah.
that kind of energy. I do wonder, will he make his own animal sounds, or will they hire someone / a real animal to come in and do that for him? Because in that case, I don't know if he would do that in front of his side piece.
Well, he could probably do a
front of
good
Madeline, people
oink
would
because
say.
he's a pig.
Yeah.
Sure, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's very familiar with that sound.
Yeah, I don't know if they want David Harbour's animal sounds.
Right.
Because
What is he playing really? Like, what is he going to be?
right now, I'm only seeing a list. Let's see. Voice cast David Harbour as Archie Everhart, a rhinoceros roarball player.
That makes sense.
my God.
Enforcer of the Thorns. And single father of twin daughters. They gave David Harbour
Come
twin
on
daughters.
now.
Single father because he got his ass got kicked out.
A rhinoceros. So he's just got that big
And
rhinoceros
yeah, like
horn.
of course
just
he's a rhinoceros, and they're aggressive, and it's like a whole thing. I wonder.
that erect horn this whole movie. I think this is a decision that parents are gonna have to make.
Overcompensating for something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The
And
bigger the
these
horn.
are all the questions that are running through my head, the thoughts that are running through my head specifically. I wonder if, yeah, I don't know. Why does he have to be like a single father, and why, like when you were first describing his role, I kind of thought maybe he'd be a villain. So is he like a villain with daughters? Who do we think the villain is going to be?
The villain, I mean, I would guess Nick Kroll.
Probably he'd be a really good
But no,
villain,
Nick
yeah.
Kroll seems he's a Komodo dragon roarball player.
Okay.
Breathes fire.
Are they like on the back? You know how it's, I'm thinking Space Jam, the Monstars.
Yes.
Are we like, is maybe the Rhino and the Komodo Dragon are both like on the Monstars?
Yes. Andrew Santino and Bobby Lee, I think they would.
Oh, they've
possibly
gotta
They
be
would
villains.
totally be Monstars
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I love Andrew Santino. So funny.
it-
And Bobby Lee.
It's yeah. I mean, I would hope at the least David Harbour is playing the villain in this movie. At least then.
Maybe he's the coach.
But why give a villain daughters? That he's probably the like nice-hearted enforcer.
Maybe.
That
or maybe they're
protects the
brats.
goat.
Listen, we've all seen the evil stepmother in Cinderella.
Yes.
And
It
those daughters were not my cup of tea or anybody's.
It could be a situation where, yeah, David Harbour, the Rhino, and his daughters are all villains.
didn't
and they
think of
bully
that.
everybody.
So
Idea.
Steph Curry as the giraffe,
Okay.
is he? He would still be a big draw for kids. Kids love Steph Curry. He might not be in his prime, and we're not a sports podcast,
True.
But
But we do promote gambling.
we do promote gambling.
Well, of
gambling,
course,
gambling.
don't we all?
So at Barstool, is Steph Curry still a big topic of conversation? Are the Barstool dudes, when they're not picking who's the babe of the week and looking at the Cindy Margolis posters on the wall,
Exactly.
are they still talking about Steph Curry? Is he a big deal?
in recent memory, I can't think of a long Steph Curry discussion I've overheard recently. Because again, I'm not. I also, despite what people may think, working at Barstool Sports, I do not really follow sports, but I do gamble. And I know that Steph Curry is the GOAT. I know that he's always the GOAT. And I think that that is one of those things that isn't questioned any longer, especially now based on like who's in the league. I feel like it's like, oh yeah, Steph Curry. It's kind of like when people were talking about Tom Brady at the time, it was like it's boring to talk about him because he just is always consistently the best. And I think that's the same for Steph Curry. And I also think that, you know, thinking about Space Jam and like the Michael Jordan of all that, I do feel like Steph Curry is like Michael Jordan to younger people who didn't grow up at the same time as like the Michael Jordan craze.
Yep.
So I think that this will absolutely go over gangbusters. Like people are going to be really hyped, especially people like a giraffe, because let's go all the way back to Madagascar. David Schwimmer voices the giraffe and people fucking love him and that giraffe.
Yeah.
Now, Pat gave you some bad intel.
Oh,
Because
Okay.
now I want to ask you, Pat,
Wow.
honestly and seriously,
Yeah.
was that intentional?
This-
Should I feel disrespected?
this movie is called GOAT.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the star of it is Steph Curry. And you said that Steph Curry plays a giraffe.
Wait, you know what?
Why would the lead of a movie called GOAT play a giraffe?
Take
He
it up with
plays a
Wikipedia.
goat.
Take
Why
it up
is
with
it not
Wikipedia.
a goat?
He's a tiny goat in it.
Take it up with the Wikipedia voice cast
Wikipedia
section.
just told you that it was a giraffe when it's literally called goat. You know, and it's crazy. I
They
didn't even catch
said it
that.
was a giraffe.
I just kept rambling on about giraffes, and I
And
didn't
that's
even
not
notice.
your fault.
That is not
I
your
know,
fault.
I know.
You
I
got
was
bad
thinking about-
intelligence.
Wikipedia's fault.
No.
So we
Wow.
will sue the entire Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, they keep asking for donations.
If they ask me one more time, it's like, how much money? You're still up and running. What's
Yeah.
the deal?
Yeah.
Shut down already. Teach me a lesson.
Oh, wait.
Get it
I'm
going.
wrong.
Okay, now we sue Clayton.
Okay.
Sue everybody.
Clayton.
Sue me?
Sue everybody.
Sue me?
Sue everybody.
Sue me. Sue you. No, that's Austin Powers. Fook me, fook you.
So, yes. Okay, so Steph Curry is not the titular GOAT
No,
in this
there's
movie.
a different. He's not the lead.
There's a
Steph
different
Cur-
goat?
Why is Steph Curry not the lead of this movie?
Because he had to play
Caleb
best-
there's
There's a kid or someone playing.
the boy from Stranger
Oh, I was
Things
gonna
is
say
the GOAT.
Caleb Heron? What's his last name?
Caleb McLaughlin.
Yeah, there's someone else
Caleb
playing
Heron
the goat.
is from Pretty Little Liars, I think.
It's you know the confusion that we have here.
Yeah.
Which is none of it is our
Who
fault.
plays this GOAT?
It's Caleb McLaughlin
Okay.
as Will Harris, a teenage goat who dreams of
Why
becoming
isn't he
a basketball
just
player.
called
Got
a
it.
GOAT? Why isn't he called Goaterson?
Go Goaterson? He
Go
should have been called
Goaterson
Go
would have been
Goaterson.
better, and I'm
But-
confused as to why it's not that. Yeah.
Why
Okay.
isn't it
Okay.
So the
Goat.
thing is, Steph Curry is not necessarily the lead. He's in the cast with Patton Oswalt, Nick Kroll, David Harbour, and there's someone else playing the titular goat. So I wonder if kids aren't going to care as long as Steph Curry is on his Instagram saying "check out goat,"
Of course.
and then he hits a 3-pointer.
So then, from
That's all
this
that matters.
perspective, I'm guessing that Steph Curry's giraffe character will be a mentor of sorts or an idol of sorts to this goat.
Yes.
And so it's like, all I want to be is the greatest of all time. All I want to be is the greatest of all time. And then eventually, maybe this goat grows up or does really well in basketball. And then someone says, like, you already are the goat. And it's like
Yes.
literally and
Yes.
spiritually.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Or even
Yeah.
if he fails at the end, because Steph Curry just like hits like
Dominates
15
him.
3-pointers on
Of course.
him and walks
breaks
off.
his ankles a couple times. Yeah.
Yes, but he's like, well, you are actually a goat, so
Yeah,
the
and so
end.
get over it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the David Harbour daughters come through and spit on him on the way out.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
here's
that sounds
here's
right
what
to
I
me.
think happens to the mentor giraffe character is that he dies in a car crash while texting.
Oh my God. Even though his head is all the way out of the ceiling, it is a really far way to look down.
Yeah, he's
You think
looking
that
way
he's
down.
looking
He's
to
not looking at the road.
completely- Right.
Yeah,
and
looking
that's why you
through the
can't text and drive. You
windshield.
just can't
Yeah.
text and drive.
So this
guys.
goat learns an important lesson about not texting while driving.
So
And do you think that inspires him to move forward back into basketball, or are we avoiding basketball now because this tragedy happened to his
I think
favorite
the
star?
it's a
The
$1 million
thing is-
baby type movie. We're the first. We think it's a basketball movie, but
Yes.
the third act is all about assisted suicide.
Well, I also
course.
think that it also might not affect him at all, and
Yeah.
that's the problem.
Sure. So then maybe
He's
he
like,
has
why-
to go back to therapy and where is my emotion?
Why don't I feel
What
anything?
is this deep trauma unhealed that's preventing me from feeling for my
Yes.
dearly departed sports idol?
Yeah, GOAT is like the Springsteen movie where it's actually a movie about go to therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Goat to therapy.
Go to therapy.
Yeah.
And that is actually the title of the film. It's been revised
Yes.
ahead of the premiere because people really weren't understanding GOAT. They were thinking it was a movie about Steph Curry. It was a whole thing. So
Yeah.
I'm actually here to reveal that information because I got a personal call
Wow. From your
From
source.
your
from my source.
Is it the
Chris
same source?
Plummer. Yes.
It is the same
Yes
source.
and no. Yes and no.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes and no. Yeah. It's really
Okay.
a mystery. I just really don't want my sources to get out because this is a really juicy scoop.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we can't
And you
reveal
are,
that
of course, the
Clemmer
first
texted
ones to
you.
hear it. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't reveal that at all.
So quick hits on a couple other things. This is a packed weekend. We've had a dry spell the last, since the year started, and now we got all these huge movies. There is an action movie called Crime 101 starring Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, and Mark Ruffalo. Just interest level in this in general. Is there any chatter in Barstool or the Barstool Bros? Got to see this new Chris Hemsworth action movie, or do they not give an S?
I think that the bros are into this. They like
Okay.
action movies. They like anyone Marvel adjacent. They're usually all into that. Halle Berry, of course, puts asses in seats, mine included. I also think that Mark Ruffalo is, he's obviously Marvel adjacent as well, but he's a great actor, period. Bros will always go for an action movie. I don't even have to think about whether or not they are looking forward to it. They will all see it and they'll all have a great opinion on it because they just like an action movie. I am not an action movie fan, and that may come as a surprise to some people, may not come as a surprise at all to others. But I'm not an action movie fan. I'm not interested in this movie at all in theaters specifically, even though I'm sure that's the best viewing experience for it. I will watch it when it comes out on streaming at some point for Halle Berry.
Yes.
I would love to see her and how she's doing. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yes.
And she looks great still. So
She looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she got the $20 million like she did in Swordfish.
definitely not.
But
Yeah.
I'm happy to see her back on the big screen. I think, and tell me what you think, Clayton, this movie is just getting so just dwarfed by the Wuthering Heights
It
hype
really is.
that obviously the ladies are almost definitely going to be picking Wuthering Heights this weekend. But the fellas are also, just because Wuthering Heights is such a big happening,
Yeah.
and that's where the ladies are going to be. And I think that is just, if you're not going to see GOAT, then the Wuthering Heights is just too much of a big deal for you to say, I'm going to go. I mean, someone's going to see Crime 101, but I think this is going to just way underperform.
Well,
Pat-
do you think we're gonna get like a Barbenheimer situation where all the men go see Oppenheimer, all the women go see Barbie? Do you think we're gonna get to the theater and it's all the girls are going to see Wuthering Heights and all the guys are seeing Crime 101?
I just haven't. Have you seen a single meme, a single Wuthering 101 meme?
No,
Wuthering Heights 101.
no, I haven't.
Yeah,
And that
we
feels
would
like a
have seen
kiss
it
of
by
death.
now.
We would
Yeah.
have seen it by now.
Pat, we do this every episode. This is my dog of the week.
Wow.
So do the
dog of
bark.
week.
Oh no,
Bark.
no! Ruff, 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 ruff.
Yeah, yeah.
That was not that good. Yeah,
That was great.
Thanks.
Dog of the week. That's my
Yeah,
dog
yeah.
of the week.
Ruh, 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 ruh.
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit. I need
Yeah.
all versions.
That's good.
And then we always have to end with. Yeah,
It's a sad dog.
that's a sad dog because he's the dog of the week. Dog of the week.
Dog of the week.
Just off the
Damn.
leash, running down the street.
Making on the floor.
Making
Wow.
a mess.
Making such a mess.
Okay.
Not on the paper.
No, never.
No.
Wow.
of the week.
Not
No
on the
baggies.
wee pads. Not on the wee pads.
No.
Probably
Oh.
in a shag carpet. Fuck.
Dog of the week.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. This is a kennel situation for Crime 101. I don't know who's going to see this when Wuthering Heights has got all the hype. And
Especially Valentine's. How are you going to convince your girl to go to Crime 101 on Valentine's Day?
I know.
It's not a very sexy movie.
No.
This
And we're
is
looking
a
for sex.
We
If
want sex
there's
this
any
weekend.
yeah.
We
to look
need
for
it.
It's this weekend.
There's no yearning
Yeah.
in Crime 101. No one
Zero.
is. Yeah. No one's yearning for this bank heist or
Nope.
drug deal gone wrong or whatever
Nope.
this is about. Yeah. And listen, Chris Hemsworth.
Truly, I have no idea what it's about. I really don't.
Now,
No
if this
idea.
was
Is that
called
what it is?
Sex 101,
I'd be first in line.
and Chris Hemsworth is a virgin.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find a way to have sex. Finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Of course.
By
because
any
no
means.
one's ever been interested.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he's such a nerd.
He's so unattractive.
He has
too.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has the equivalent of glasses and a ponytail.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yep.
And then he's just trying to find all these ways. And then you got Mark Ruffalo, who is the sidekick, being like, I get laid all the time.
Sure.
I can show you how to do it.
And do you
Right.
think he's really getting laid, or do you think he's lying about getting laid?
He's
always,
lying.
Of course he is. There's always the friend who lies about how much they get laid.
Yeah.
And then Halle Berry is the
Chris
nice woman who works at the Orange Julius.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
She's the manager.
Yeah, she's the manager. She's the
yeah.
manager.
She's the manager,
Yeah.
and she has had a sordid past with Margot Robbie. So I am actually kind of confused as to like why both these movies are premiering at the same time, considering their sordid past at the Orange Julius.
Big weekend for Orange Julius
Big
at the
weekend for
theater.
Orange Julius.
Wow.
So-
are they a sponsor of the pod? You should call them.
I mean, if they're not yet, they're going to be on the phone right after
Yeah,
this
they
drop.
will.
So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
will. The industry is listening.
they are
established.
listening.
Yeah.
So that is the dog of the week. No one cares about this. I mean, I would say if that's the dog of the week, I don't know what just roadkill animal Cold Storage is. So this is a movie with Liam Neeson. What's the Stranger Kids?
Joe Keery.
Joe
Joe
Keery.
Keery. Yeah.
Big music star.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this
He's
is
got a
like
great band.
this is like Prince being in a movie.
Oh,
basically.
wow.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
and then
Elvis.
Georgina Campbell, who is the lead from Barbarian, who she's great.
Oh,
I
now I'm
love-
excited.
That's
Yeah,
great.
Now
I like
saw the
Barbarian.
trailer for this. It looks a little wacky,
Mm-hmm.
a little maybe too much, but it's sort of a zombie adjacent action
Mm-hmm.
comedy movie. Liam Neeson getting to continue being funny post
Yes.
Naked Gun.
Which I loved.
He's great.
He's great.
He's
he
great.
Really is.
But this is a movie. Did you hear about this at all before you got into BOHQ? Did you know that this existed until
Not-
an hour ago?
I really don't think so. Tell me the people in it again. I'm like forgetting already.
Joe Keery.
Joe Keery.
Joe Keery,
and who's
Liam
the other?
Neeson,
And Liam Neeson. Sorry.
and Georgina Campbell.
And
from
Georgina Campbell.
Barbarian.
So, no. And I'm really trying to rack my brains because I was saying before, I recently saw Send Help in the theaters and I saw a bunch of previews before. And I do remember like an action based something, but I don't know if it was the Chris Hemsworth, Halle Berry, or if it was this.
Mm-hmm.
Neither one of them stuck with me. So that's not really a good sign for either. And
Yeah.
this seems much less familiar. I feel like I would have remembered Joe Keery. He's the hotness right now in
Yes.
terms of like, he's like a hot white boy of the week vibes.
He
you know?
is. This is it's Studio Canal, which is a French company putting it out.
They're fast and loose with the sex stuff. the
So I
French
was going to say
companies.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe there's so much sex in this one.
Could there
like
be
nudity.
schwanz in Cold Storage?
There really could be. If the French are in charge.
Yeah.
So
Schwanz
this
and
is
Sigs.
just schwanz and Sigs.
So they're all just smoking with their genitals out
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and dealing with these zombies.
Yes,
And it's
Wow.
cold, so they're like not
Yeah, what time of year do we know?
excited.
So that's
but the French are okay
uncomfortable.
with that. They'll show like completely flaccid and be like, "This is normal."
And they'll be like, this is life.
This
is
and,
life.
and you're weird for thinking nudity is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. There's going to be a very like tight balls.
Yeah, we'll show you
know?
the smallest,
Yeah.
coldest genitals you've ever
Yeah.
seen.
I mean,
and
what is-
that's life, you dumb Americans.
Exactly. And put away your guns. We don't want your violence.
Yeah,
But
nobody.
is
Yeah,
this a violent movie, actually?
It seems like it's a violent movie. They're fighting
Wow.
zombies.
they can only use insults.
Okay.
They're at a military base, and then some kind of fungus gets out, and then
Course. Typical.
you got to destroy whatever the fungus is getting on. This is just there's no awareness for this movie.
This movie
at
should be
all.
called "There's a Fungus Among Us."
A fungus among
Wow.
us. Yes,
That's a great. Okay. And here we are. I need to get my source on the phone and tell them to make a quick switch up before the premiere.
There you go.
And we're recording this on a Wednesday, so they have
have a
one
day.
more day for the Thursday previews.
Roll
they better
those-
get
stop
to
the
it
press.
tonight.
Roll
Stop the
those new
press.
posters out.
I mean, no one has seen the poster for Cold Storage anyway.
I
so,
really haven't. Like, what is it?
So you might
don't-
as well just change it to Fungus Among Us.
Fungus Among Us. It could be that. It could also just be called like COVID, because it kind of sounds like COVID.
Yeah, COVID zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, COVID zombies.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Liam Neeson, he obviously has his fans when he does his old guy action movies.
yes.
And Naked Gun, everyone loved it. It was a solid hit, not a blockbuster, but a solid hit. So
I think it
it's
deserved
Liam
more
Neeson. People
fanfare.
like him, but no one knows that this is out. So
I am shocked because I do love Liam Neeson, and if it were advertised to me as a Taken style movie, which of course we all know and love him the most from, then I may consider it, but it doesn't seem to be advertised in that way. So I think I'm all set.
Yeah.
I think the thing we're seeing with these films is that there's two films that look like they would be theatrical films.
Yeah.
Which is Wuthering Heights looks like a theatrical film.
Mm-hmm.
Goat looks like a theatrical film. Cold Storage, Crime 101 look like they could be on a streamer.
They
Like,
look straight to streaming to me.
Crime
That looks like
101
a Netflix original to me.
Yeah, Crime 101 especially. Does that not smack of Netflix?
Yeah, it
Where it's
does.
like Halle Berry, Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo all got, $10 to $15 million already, no back end, whatever, just to do this movie, drops on Netflix and is forgotten in a week.
It's the rip.
Yeah.
It's the rip.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like Adam Sandler. He had to do that deal with Netflix where it was like, we'll give you X amount of money as long as you do 5 original movies for the channel. It's like
Right.
that kind of vibe to me.
Yeah.
Where it's like, who is Chris Hemsworth, the latest celebrity that's entangled with a streaming service, licensed out for a few years?
We're going to get Crime 101, Crime 102, Crime 103,
Yeah.
all on
Exactly.
Netflix.
Exactly. And I
And
look
they'll
forward
say-
to that because maybe by 3, it'll start getting kitschy. It'll be like, this is a must watch.
Yes.
Maybe because it's like so bad.
Mm.
Or maybe we just watch for like rippling muscles of Chris Hemsworth.
Yes. And they start getting some schwanz in by the time we get to 103.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hope there's a little bit of schwanz at least in one, just
Yeah.
to keep me hooked. Like
Give
I
us
need to give me a
1
something.
inch.
Give me
Yeah.
it doesn't
An
yeah.
inch per movie.
They
till-
add on until
then
we
there's
get to
6
Crime
sequels.
107.
And then we're
rolling.
talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
But you got to get. See, that would be the reason to continue to make these movies to get to a reasonable length.
Of course.
Because you don't want to end with 4, because then you're like,
No.
We're
Because you're
still
like there's
below
Or
some
I know
potential.
some people think 4 inches is fine,
Yeah.
but
Some. Yeah.
but not
our
all.
best. Come
No,
on.
no.
No. We got it. We get to Crime 107, then we're like, okay, now I'm feeling all right.
Right now I'm overwhelmed.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
So it's just the I'm trying to think. We've jumped the shark in size.
Crime 10. Where
Okay.
should they stop?
This is such a crude question.
I think we can stop at Crime 105, but then maybe do some spin-offs that could add to the lore. Like maybe there's like a crime, Crime 911. I'm dealing with an issue, and now we're back to that cat that you were talking about earlier. Maybe that's an animated spin-off.
so
Yeah,
not just to
fuck the
go with
cat,
the
yeah.
metaphor. So you're adding then girth to the franchise.
I think girth needs to start happening. I think girth needs to happen. I think also different variations. Like, again, is it a French company running this? Are we having flaccid genitalia going all the way up to 5? I don't need a flaccid shaft at 5. I don't need that.
Right.
But I am curious about the potential growth. And so if we are growing past a 7, now I'm intimidated.
Okay.
Now it's a little too much for me to handle. Now it's almost taking up too much of the room, Let's
Yes,
let's
yes.
focus. Let's bring the focus back.
Yeah.
It's all about you now.
Yeah.
Crime 107.
Yeah, that's when we start rebooting the franchise.
Exactly.
Once we get to Crime
this is
107.
actually a good franchise rule because when you think of something like the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
Which is too much right off the start.
Way too
Friday
much.
the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
much.
But I mean, when you look at how many sequels it had, that's just not a manageable
No.
size. So you should always think what is the amount of movies can have until the audience gets uncomfortable and it's no longer fun.
Until it hurts. Until the amount of sequels hurts.
Hurts.
Until
Yeah.
it hurts and until really you start needing to add other elements into the experience to heighten the experience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is what they did with Freddy versus Jason. They brought in Freddy and they were like, wow.
A Pauly
Freddy-
situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Freddy's going to add something to this story that will, make sure it continues on because we don't want to cut something off in the middle. Okay.
Right.
We don't want to leave anyone hanging. We want
Yes.
all questions answered, all feelings felt. And that's just
Yeah.
how it
And
So-
is.
we're on the 9th movie at that point, so we need some outside
We need to
assistance.
spice it up. Okay. Yeah.
So
we need some outside assistance
John
for sure.
Wick
Yes.
should end with 5.
Yes.
Yeah, he's at chapter 4, so you're sort of like, still not enough movie for me
Still
yet.
not enough. I could probably handle one more
Mm-hmm.
and still be enjoying myself without thinking, I think I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
And I think John Wick is right in that path.
Yeah.
But then at that point where it's like, I've had enough, we can jump off into somebody
Well,
else.
Ballerina added a little bit of, filled it out, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I think that is really, really a perfect path.
Yeah.
And you're right. It should be the blueprint for movies and otherwise moving forward.
Yeah. So John Wick gets to chapter 5, and then you'll just watch John Wick chapter 5 over and over.
Over
again.
and over again. Yeah, until we really get into a routine of John Wick 5. And maybe we watch it in the morning, maybe we watch it at night, maybe we watch it on the weekends. And I just really don't want to get to a point where I'm watching John Wick 5 and I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I just don't want that to happen.
I
And that does
know.
happen a lot.
Yeah.
So they really have to make John Wick 5 good for that reason.
Yes.
And I just don't, it almost needs to be the grand finale, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be the grand finale, and I'll
Yeah.
say that.
So let's get into now. Let's wrap up with our predictions for the weekend. So we're going to give
This
our
is
top
big.
5 predictions for this weekend. So, Kelly, last weekend I'll let you know what the top 5 was for last weekend.
It was
so you have
truly
that
sad.
as reference. It was.
I don't even know what came out last weekend.
So the top 5, yeah, because it was the big game weekend, and I
Okay.
know maybe at Barstool you're allowed to say, but it's the big game
It's the big
weekend.
game. It's still the big game.
It's still the
right?
big game even at Barstool.
We've been
Yeah.
asking, like, is
It's-
it always going to be the big game, or can we talk about it now? But it's still the big game.
So over here, so we're all on the same page. Last
Mm-hmm.
weekend was big game weekend. Number 1 was Send Help, which was its second week in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Solo Mio, which was a Kevin James rom-com where Kevin James gets jilted at the altar and then goes on his own honeymoon. And Allison
Okay,
Hannigan
that sounds...
plays either his love interest or daughter or
Wait, who
other.
plays?
Allison Hannigan from
Allison Hannigan,
the
okay.
American Pie films.
Of course.
And the title translates to Me Solo
And then
in English, Me Solo.
and then there
I
was
see.
Iron
Of
Lung
course.
was number 3, which was a YouTuber Markiplier made a video game adaptation, and that was number 3.
I really am. I always think I'm plugged in, and then you do this list, and I'm like, what the fuck are these movies? I have not heard of either of these.
Yes.
Well, you don't have it's a video game adaptation. You don't have the controllers plugged in, so you
And that
don't
is
have to
true.
worry about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for releasing me of that guilt.
So those were the top 3 last weekend, and now we've got these new releases coming out. So as the guest, would you like to go first, second, or third in your predictions?
I would like to go second. I think that's a good place to go.
Smart.
That is the sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
So, Clayton, would you want to go first or second? I mean, first or third?
I'd love to go first.
All right,
Wow,
go for
let's
it. Let's
go.
hear it, and we want to hear that Wuthering Heights number.
I'm going to write stuff down, too, because I don't even know what's coming out this week.
Wuthering Heights.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 movie. Slam Doink.
Yeah, Doink of the Week.
Doink of the
Doink.
week. $65 million.
Wow.
I think they're really
Wow.
underestimating
I
this.
love
They
it.
said 35 to 45. I think this is going to be gaggles of gals. I do think it's a date movie. I think it's going to have
It being literally on Valentine's Day does lean into that. Like
Yeah.
secure couples can go see this movie, I
Yes.
guess is what I
Yes.
meant by that. It's not a first date movie. It's
Yes.
you're married and
Oh, it's not?
your man's not insecure about hot Jacob Elordi on screen. That's
Oh,
really
shit.
where it
Hold on.
lies.
I got to cancel something
Yeah,
really
fuck.
fast.
Okay.
I'm seeing it Friday night with my wife.
There you go.
Parentheses Borat.
And there
We
you
will be
go.
seeing
My
this together.
wife, yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats on the sex. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, 65. Yeah, because I just think it's gonna go bonkers.
That's a great number.
Number 2, I do think it's GOAT because the rats need their cheese.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think, Valentine's, you're going to have, the married couples going, and then their kids are going to be with the sitter. And then on a Sunday, they're taking their kids to see GOAT.
Of course.
So have some family time. So that's number 2. Number 3 is going to be, now, what was the other new movie that, because I keep
There
wanting
was
to
Cold
put,
Storage Crime 101.
okay, I
Cold
keep wanting to put
Storage.
Kelly's horse movie in the top
Right.
5
Yeah.
because I
Right.
really think it would do well.
We've got to
I
wait a couple
think
of
so,
years,
too.
but it will be in our top 5.
Maybe stay away from GOAT. Like, I feel like it'd be bad to go up against GOAT, but
I
I,
wouldn't
feel
wanna
like
go up
GOAT would have
against
moved.
GOAT.
I feel like GOAT would have moved.
Go would have moved because
would've
the
ran.
message that we're trying to send with the Central Park Horse movie is, I would say, more pertinent, more urgent. We need this law passed.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
your dreams will always be there, but this law will not. So
Yes.
we need it passed. So yeah, thank you for that.
Absolutely. So I think number 3, I'm going to go with Crime 101, but I don't think it's going to do much. I'm just looking at everything else that's coming out because
Yeah.
I still think that
The holdovers are not are not spectacular.
I think we're going to have then send help, and then Solo Mio I actually think is going to hold on because I do think there's a level of romance to that movie.
Yes.
Wow, and that's a really good point, actually.
Kevin James versus Jacob Elordi in the Battle of the Romance movies on Valentine. I mean, listen, it's the battle that women have been waiting for a long time now, and it's finally happening.
I've always put them in the same category and sentence. So, yeah, of course, that really will be the Battle Royale.
Can Jacob Elordi lift Kevin James up with one arm?
Probably.
Yeah, that's
I really think so. He's just so large, not even built, because he is pretty slender if you look at him, but he's just so tall.
He's so tall.
I feel like he's a skyscraper. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody like that.
He's a John Wick Chapter 7.
He's a John Wick Chapter 7, but one that I'm willing to make an exception for and thinking, you know what, this may take a little bit of maneuvering physically and emotionally, but I'm willing to put in the work.
Yeah, I've got to see this movie at least once.
At least once.
Yes.
At least.
So, Kelly, can you give us your top 5 predictions for this weekend?
Okay. Withering Heights, far and away, again, Valentine's of it all, I said, like, maybe people in relationships don't want to go see it because it's, lusting over Jacob Elordi / Margot Robbie on screen. But I do really think if you're like, that's only a message to the men who can't be okay with their girlfriend being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Right. Or the girls who can't be okay with their man being like, oh my God, Margot Robbie, because obviously she's gorgeous. 65, I love that prediction. I'm going to bump it up to 69 million.
Okay, there we go.
Because that
Someone
was the obvious thing to choose, and I am surprised that you didn't go there.
Well, I wanted to give the lady the chance.
And I appreciate that. Yeah. So 69 million, clock it in for no other reason other than it's a horny movie, but I do really think it's going to go way above 35. Like that, it's just a perfect scenario for this movie to be released. The release schedule, whoever planned it did a really good job, I think. 2, I'm actually going to go Crime 101 because I think that the Marvel fans are hungry and they've got the new movie coming out over the summer, right? Isn't there like another Marvel something?
There is a big, everyone got into a warehouse in front of a green screen Marvel movie.
Doomsday?
Doomsday, the end of this year.
No, that's at the end of the year. For some reason, I thought there was
Well, there's a Spider-Man movie this summer.
Sorry, Spider-Man in the summer, Doomsday in the winter. Because it's Doomsday, right?
Yes, right.
They're
now
trying to
Doomsday.
force a Barbenheimer, but it's Dune and Doomsday.
Yes,
so
it's 2 movies for the exact same audience,
right,
as opposed to what Barbenheimer
which
was.
is a real big mistake. I don't know why one of them won't budge and move, but I think people are missing those characters, specifically Chris Hemsworth. I think people loved Thor, and I think they're willing to kind of give him a chance forever. And I think Halle Berry will draw in a little bit of a wider audience than we think. Like my dad might go to the movies to see Halle Berry. Like, we're thinking about the people who really love Halle Berry. Her fans will come out in droves, and I think it's going to do better than we think, even though I never heard about it until basically today. 3, I'll go GOAT. Because you're right, the kids need to go somewhere when the parents are celebrating Valentine's Day with sex. So hopefully they'll go to see GOAT with their babysitters or grandparents, because that's usually who takes you to animated movies. Or Guardians as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Of the galaxy or otherwise. I would say 4. I think Cold Storage. I think Cold Storage may get a bump from Joe Keery.
Yep.
I think Joe Keery and Liam Neeson will carry the interest. But I do think that there are fans out there, especially like Stranger Things, freaks. And I'm telling you, the Joe Keery love on TikTok, because he's a singer now, like girls might come out for him the same way that they're coming out for Jacob Elordi, People love him. Sabrina Carpenter has been rumored to be hanging around Joe Keery all the time.
Oh, wow.
And so there's a rumor that they're, not dating, but at least hanging out or hooking up, kissing maybe out a little on the side.
Respectfully, that would be a very big-headed couple. That'd be like 2 lollipops kissing.
Yes, it would. And I would be interested to see. Although Sabrina Carpenter is so short that I don't know if that like bobblehead effect would happen as much, because I think everybody would just be focused on their height difference.
Yeah.
She wears a lot of big shoes,
We need to see the Sabrina Carpenter, Jacob Elordi couple.
That would almost be perverse.
There's no camera that could keep that in frame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that would be perverse. We've got, and then 5. I'm just going to keep Send Help up there because I've seen it. And I actually do think it's a really fun movie. And it's kind of there's not a love element, but there is a like respecting someone for who they are element and like did you guys see it already? Have you seen the movie?
I did. I loved it.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
like there's like an infatuation level to it. Like it's almost like love gone wrong or
Yes.
like infatuation gone wrong, which I think is a fun spin. Similarly to like Kevin James, When Love Goes Wrong, I think it can
Yes.
kind of slide in there. And Dylan O'Brien puts asses in seats, and
does.
so does Rachel McAdams, of course. But
Yeah.
Dylan O'Brien is a handsome man. So if we've got the Mount Rushmore of handsome men this weekend, we've got Jacob Elordi, Kevin James, Joe Keery, Dylan O'Brien.
Those are 4 hotties.
Those are 4 hotties.
Yeah.
So really, what are we going to do? But I'll take Dylan, Joe, and Jacob over Kevin in a practical sense. But spiritually, I know that the women really do love Kevin James. So I'm
Yes.
curious.
And you're in New York, so King of Queens is always going to have
right.
a
Great
part of your
reputation
heart.
here. Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, I kind of have the same top 5, I think, as you, Clayton. I mean, number 1, Doink of the Week is Wuthering Heights. I'll say 60, but 69 was the move that had to be made.
Yeah,
so
that's
that's
what
I'm
and again,
rooting
thank you
for.
for letting me have that
Yes.
because I do appreciate that.
Number 2, I do think it'll be GOAT. I think GOAT could get to 25 million, then probably Crime 101. It's going to be tough. This could be a mercy situation where it does like 10 million. Number 4 is going to be Send Help. Great sort of anti-Valentine's Day movie. And then number 5, I think Solo Mio is just going to fall off the map because it's all Wuthering Heights. And I think number 5 then will be Cold Storage. You know, the Joe Keery factor.
Yeah.
No one knows this movie exists, but I guess if Joe Keery just puts it on his social media, then people who need to know will know.
If he, here's what I think. I think Cold Storage will probably have a much bigger second weekend than first weekend because once the week goes by and we've got videos and like gifs of Joe Keery like being sexy or hot or even emotional or like just kind of making faces, like that'll be all over TikTok in seconds, and everybody will be, coming out in droves. I really do think that. So that would be an official prediction from me. Weekend 2 will be bigger than weekend 1 for Cold Storage.
I love it.
Now, quickly, I know we're going over, but are we sleeping on the double feature that might happen this weekend, which is the Zootopia fans who want to see GOAT?
Yes.
Is it Gootopia weekend? Is it possible we're going to see Gootopia?
Okay.
They do a double. They're listen. They're by themselves.
Are we saying Gootopia like Goontopia? Or are we saying Goat
Well, I'm putting
and
it
Zootopia together? Is Zootopia
yes.
still in the theater?
Yeah, Zootopia was
wow.
it was number 6 last week. It made $3 million
Still?
last weekend. Yes.
I feel like I saw that movie like
The furries
You
are
did.
still
forever
coming
ago,
out.
like before Christmas even maybe.
So I'm putting GOAT together with Zootopia to create Gootopia.
I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, listen, we're all thinking Goontopia.
We're all thinking Goontopia. I am wondering that as well, the double feature, but would it maybe be more appropriate to do a double feature of Wuthering Heights first and then GOAT, especially if the rumors are true of no nudity, so you have roughly 2 hours of edging and then you head over to the main event, which is, of course, your animated furry situation.
Yeah.
Goal-oriented. And then that leaves space for quite the night.
Yes, that is. Yeah, you're revved up coming out
Yeah,
of
I think
Wuthering Heights.
Absolutely. Right. Goatering Heights. And I
Yeah.
think that
Is
or
goatering
perhaps,
a thing?
Or perhaps Withering Goat.
Just these furries, they've been goatering for
They've been
a long
goatering
time.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're goatering. But
Yeah.
do we think maybe what did I just say? Goatering Heights? Is that what I
Yeah,
just said?
Goatering Heights.
Yeah.
I think
You
that
def-
is
you
gonna
definitely
put-
said it.
It's going to
Okay.
put people in a mood for
It's
sure.
I think
been
it will.
recorded.
Yeah.
I think it will. And I'm not condoning or suggesting, but I am reading the room.
Yeah.
And especially with that previous information about Zootopia and the furries.
Yeah, I think that could be big
It's
this
hard to
weekend.
avoid.
So definitely be on the lookout for it at the theater this weekend and stay safe out there.
Stay safe. Keep your hands to yourself.
And yes, and see something, say something when you're at a Wuthering
Exactly.
Heights screening. So
Bring wet wipes.
and bring
Yes.
always bring wet wipes.
Well, you could
Yes.
bring tissues because Wuthering Heights is a movie where people will cry.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you'll just have tissues.
Yeah, it's a tearjerker and
For-
a jerker
Okay.
this weekend. Yeah,
For whatever.
For whatever you need.
Whatever.
Whatever.
The moisture, especially for. You never know.
So, Kelly Keegs, can you tell us, because you told us about a new show that you have at Barstool.
Yes.
What is, tell the wannabe O boys, wannabe O girls, wannabe O people. about your new show that they should immediately download, watch on YouTube? What is this show?
You have to go, if you are a book reader, a book person, you have to go and subscribe to and download all the new episodes of the Same Page Book Club, which is something that we've started. It's myself, Gia, who is my co-host on Taylor Watch, another show we do that's exclusively about Taylor Swift and adjacent. So the Swiftyverse, we call it. Gia is my co-host there. We have partnered up with the very famous Chicks in the Office, Rhea and Fran, and we are doing a 4-person collaborative book club. We are now halfway through or almost done with our second book, our February book, but we're doing 1 book a month. We do 2 episodes a month. We'll do 1 after the first half of the book and then 1 after the second half of the book, compare how we feel beginning and end. And each book, we will either pick ourselves or we're doing like polls of books that have been suggested to us for us to choose. It's very interactive, very fun. We're all, we've downloaded Fable. I'm a Goodreads girl as well. Like, we've got them all. So we're trying to just bring people together through literature.
I love it.
And I'm excited about it.
I mean, watch the show, listen to the show, email theboboyspodcast@gmail.com. If you have suggestions for Kelly's book club, we'll pass them along.
Please. And feel free to DM me too and to DM the Same Page Book Club on Instagram.
Amazing. So watch out for that. Email us, follow us on social media @theboboyspod. Subscribe to the Substack. New article went up last week where it was just all about the importance of gambling and gambling at the movie theater. So read that on the Substack.
Exactly.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are YouTubers. Hey guys.
Hey.
And 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Watch and listen to everything Kelly Keegs does.
Please.
Over at Barstool and on her social media. And that is it. Thank you so much, Kelly Keegs.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And again, apologies for all the rants. I know that every time I come on here, all of a sudden I'm here for 5 hours because I can't shut up.
Oh, it's just so much great content out of
you.
every Kelly Keegs visit. And Clayton, that is all I got. I got nothing left.
Pat, you've both said it all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Only one person has denied something, 834.
Not a rallying cry.
But there's nothing left to be said.
Nothing. So I could leave.
Except for, until next time, we'll smell you at the box office. Nailed it. Hey, guys.